was one of those March days when the sun shines hot and the wind blows cold, when it is summer in the light and winter in the shade. Charles Dickens' Great Expectations. So if you live in a place like Ohio, then you 100% understand that quote that I just read. Here in Ohio, we have, 2 days ago it was 58 degrees outside, and today it's snowing. So the back and forth of spring is definitely real here in Ohio. And because of that, I decided to start decorating our home so that it feels like fresh and light, that spring feeling that comes on those days when it's 50 and 60 degrees and you're so excited for those warm days to come. That's the feeling that I wanted to bring inside while we wait for those warm days to finally arrive. Before we dive into the specific things that I did in our kitchen this year to make it look like spring, I did want to mention 3 little tips for how I like to decorate regardless of the season. They're just like thrifty tips, I guess, for decorating your home and making it feel new and fresh. So number 1, the first thing I like to do is shop my home. In this video, you're gonna see that there are different items that I have moved and pulled from the living room or the dining room and added them here in the kitchen. There are also items that were in one spot in the kitchen and I've just moved them to another spot in the kitchen. Something as simple as just shopping your home and flipping items can really transform the space, and you didn't spend any money. The second thing that I like to do is decorate with everyday items that you're going to be using regularly during that season. Specifically for us in the kitchen, we have mugs that are over here on this shelf. And in the winter months, I have all 6 of them up on the shelf because between me and the girls and my husband, we are definitely drinking warm drinks in mugs. But when spring comes, now I drink hot drinks all year long, but the rest of my family does not. So I've reduced the amount of mugs that are on the shelves from 6 to 4. Another example of using everyday items as decor is in the winter, I put a surplus of bowls on these shelves back here behind me because we're always eating soup and stew in the winter. But in the summer, that is just not something that we eat a lot of. So I take the 1 set of bowls and I put them away and leave only 1 set up on the shelves. When you think about like the functionality of that space, like what are everyday items that you can use to be beautiful and to still make the space function the way that you need it to? Then the third thing that I do is to shop secondhand at thrift stores, or garage sale season is starting up, flea market season is starting up. So for my spring decor, I did not go buy anything brand new, except for one painting that I got at the thrift store, and it was $2. And then I got also these stems. I actually got them at Christmas time. They were on clearance. I think they were like $1.70 or something like that per stem, which was great. They're Hearth and Hand stems, brand new from Target, but just hugely like discounted because I was getting them. I got them at Christmas time. So those are the only things that I bought new for the spring decor in our kitchen. And what's really cool about shopping that way is I never have like huge amounts of regret. After I had everything cleaned up and I had the shelves put back the way that I like them, and I was deciding on what I was going to keep and what I was going to put away, one thing I decided for spring, because I wanted it to be like light and fresh, I decided I wanted to go with more clear and white glass. So before I started decorating for spring, I had a terracotta vase and a crock up there, and they just took up a lot of like that visual space because they were a color that you could see. So I decided to go with a clear vase for those florals that I found at Target, and I really like it. It does feel lighter. It feels like it takes up less of that visual space, which in the springtime, I mean, I feel like in all the areas of our life in spring, we are kind of like shedding those layers. The next thing that I did for our spring decor in the kitchen is add baskets. So I didn't actually add any more baskets in the kitchen area, although I did over in our like eat-in dining room kitchen area. But in the kitchen, I did a swap again. What I love so much about the baskets is they add a warmth to the space just by what like their natural material. But then the other thing that's really cool about baskets is they kind of like are a nod toward the harvest that is outside. So we, specifically the basket that I have hanging up in the dining room right now, it is a basket that I had hanging up on the pot rack last summer that my girls would just grab off the hook, take outside, go to the garden, and fill with whatever they found in the garden that was done and ready to come out, and then bring it in and set it on the counter for me. So even if you don't have a garden or you're not going to go out and cut flowers, I do think that baskets are a fun way to add some of that like spring and summer feeling. Another thing that I did in decorating our kitchen for spring was add flowers. I mentioned those Hearth and Hand flowers earlier that I used, and then I also have these, I think they're called Real Touch tulips that I purchased last year on Amazon, and I absolutely love them. I can be kind of like skeptical on my Amazon shopping because I like to be able to feel things and see things. I love these flowers, and they've held up really well in the 1 year that I've had them. Another thing that I did for our spring decor in the kitchen is add linens that are lighter and have a little bit more color. So from my winter kitchen, I did a little bit of blue, but I stuck a whole lot with the white and just did like sprinkles of my blue linens. But now that I feel like I'm like full on going into spring and summer, I wanted to have some more color. So I went ahead and pulled out some linens that were a little bit more colorful. And the last little spring addition that I put in our dining room, eat-in kitchen area this year was a straw hat. So I have been seeing people using straw hats just as like wall decor, and I really like it. So last summer, 2 summers ago, there was an auction that my husband and I went to, and there was a straw hat that was a part of this like bundle of like garden tools. And I told my husband that we didn't need the garden tools, but I wanted him to bid on that bundle because the hat was with the bundle. And we ended up not getting the bundle. Another gentleman got the bundle, but because he knew that I wanted the hat, he'd heard me say so to my husband. He walked over and just handed me the hat. He must have wanted whatever was in the bundle, but had no need for the hat. So that was really kind of cool. But so I hung that up on the wall, and I'm actually kind of hoping maybe during like my garage sailing and flea market season this year that I can find some more straw hats to just hang up on the wall as decor. Water. Okay, get you some water. Thank you. Some tea. Okay, I'll get you some tea. Tea. Red. Very good. Yes, that's red. So those are the simple ways that I have changed our kitchen from a winter kitchen to a spring kitchen. And if you want to go back and watch that video so you can kind of see the full transformation, I'll go ahead and put the link up above. I really appreciate that you watch this video. I hope that you like this video. If you are new to my channel, I hope that you hit the subscribe button down below. I'll see you next time. Bye.